Hi, welcome to WaterBear's music industry news and analysis. I'm Bruce, and we're going to go over to Megan in the studio to talk about what's been happening in the news this week.
So what is Article 13? Article 13 is part of a proposed copyright legislation in the European Union, created with the intent to better protect creativity. It seeks to find effective ways for copyright holders, such as musicians, to protect their online content. Many people respect Article 13's goals and its aim to help artists succeed. However, there is one problem. The current proposal of Article 13, written by European Parliament, will create large unintended consequences. It threatens hundreds of thousands of artists, musicians, bands, and creative people within the creative economy. 400 hours of footage are uploaded to YouTube every minute, and 1 billion hours are watched every day. These platforms embrace expression, creativity, and talent, and Article 13 may result in these platforms being shut down. So why does this actually matter to us? Article 13 could mean that YouTube, for example, is forced to block millions of existing and new videos in the EU. It could drastically limit the content that we are able to upload to YouTube and other creative outputs. This would be especially difficult for musicians because many types of videos could be blocked, such as fan music covers, singles, music videos, sessions, acoustic videos, live music videos. Social media platforms would have no choice but to block your existing content and stop you from uploading new content because of how strict the copyright protection would be. Unless you can prove that you absolutely own everything in your video, including sound, props, clothing, artwork, framed items in the background, the list goes on, your content will be removed. So is Article 13 actually approved yet? Not quite. The language is still being drafted, but it could be finalised by the end of the year. It could take up to 2 years to make it international law. In January 2019, a final decision will be made.
So thank you for that, Megan. And what are we to make of this? Obviously, this is a fairly well-meaning piece of legislation, and I think we all welcome any effort to kind of monetize creative output, which at the moment for musicians is often shared and free. And I think, you know, there's signs everywhere that that's beginning to tighten up a bit, and I think that's generally a good thing. However, we have got a period of uncertainty, and this uncertainty is generating a certain amount of hysteria because we don't know what's going on really, and many of us do an awful lot of activity on YouTube and social media, so it's deeply concerning. And the bit that we're all really concerned about is that kind of the concept that you have to absolutely prove that everything in your video and your content, everything is owned by you. So does that mean if I've got an Adidas t-shirt and the logo's showing that my video will be taken down, or I've got a can of Coca-Cola in my hand, there's incidental music in the background, then the video could presumably get taken down? Very hard to engineer a situation when you can control all of that, let alone prove it. But I would say we've been through a similar sort of situation with recent legislation with the GDPR thing, that's the data kind of protection stuff, where suddenly none of us were allowed just to collect databases of people's name and hold data in the way that we were before. And the aftermath of that, all commercial companies had to change their policy, but what we're seeing now is it's very, very hard to enforce it. No one seems to be getting prosecuted, and I for one are getting just as many spam emails as I did before. So this could be one of those things that actually, it's like, you know, in the old days you weren't allowed in theory to record an album onto cassette and give it to your mates, but we all did. So it might be one of them situations where the legislation is actually unenforceable, or it could be brutally enforced by robots that just automatically pick up this stuff and shut you down. We have to accept there's going to be change, and I think that we also have to go, well, do you know what? Wherever there's change, there's usually opportunity. And usually it'll clear the way, perhaps it'll clear away a lot of the noise of the people who take the time to work out how to play the situation. There's an opportunity for us to kind of cut through the noise and perhaps reach more audience as a consequence. So I don't know, it's a case of watch and see, be vigilant, and we'll respond to the situation accordingly and make the most of it. So if you want to get music industry news and analysis regularly, like and subscribe, and we'll keep you in the loop so you know what's going on. And if you're interested in the business side of the industry, don't forget at WaterBear you can study music business, you can study tour management, you can study artist management as well as performance, and you can study at BA Honours level, you can study a Masters, and you can even study online by distance from anywhere in the world. Look forward to hearing from you.